Hey guys, Ezra here and welcome back to another Ezra review. And on today's video, I want to talk about Joker Folie Deux, which is the sequel to the 2019 Joker movie. Now, I'm a big fan of the first Joker movie, I did a review last week, and how that was the most intense theater experience that I ever had, and it's the most unique one as well, so I really love the experience, and I also really love the movie itself, I think it's well directed, well acted, and I think it has a cool message, maybe not cool message, but like it has an interesting message to tell, so I completely love that, and of course the score, the cinematography, everything is great in that first movie, so when they announced the sequel, I was like, okay, well, I don't think it's necessary to make a sequel to the first Joker movie, because I don't think it needs one. And I think toddphilips said himself that he doesn't wanted to do a sequel. It was pitched as the standalone movie. But when a movie make $1 billion and winning 2 Oscars, then yeah, you're gonna make a sequel, whether you like it or not. So here we are with Joker Folie Deux, and all I can say is that it's disappointing, because I feel like the first movie has a lot more message to tell, a lot more story to cover with Arthur Fleck, and I think the sequel took a really disappointing route, because here's the thing. Arthur becomes the Joker by the end of the first movie, right? Whether or not that was real or not, whether he was the real Joker or not, that's not the point. The point is he does become the Joker, right? And then the sequel does confirm that, oh, like everything in the first movie does happen because, well, there is a sequel, and the sequel is just about Arthur just like, hanging around in Arkham Asylum, and then he has a court trial, that obviously they're going to convict him from his crime for the first movie, and that's it, that's the plot of the movie, and it has nothing much to say, I will say this though, I think Joaquin Phoenix does. I still think he does a great performance as the Joker, or Arthur Fleck, and Lady Gaga was okay. I think Lady Gaga and the rest of the cast and like the rest of the performance in this movie are just okay, because I think the material they were given are not that good, to be honest, And I think Walken is just great because he has the most screen time, and he's the main characters, so that's why his performance still stands out, But I feel like the rest of them are just like, it's completely I don't know, nothing much to say, to be honest, because I think they are doing an okay performance at the very least with the material they were given, and of course there is a musical aspect about the movie as well, I hated it, because I feel like I was a bit more open-minded, when I see this movie, because I thought that, well, okay, fine, I don't really like musical movies, but there is some good musical movies out there, one of them is The Greatest Showman, and here's the thing. On The Greatest Showman, when there is a musical scene, the music was memorable, it was catchy, and most importantly, it tells a story, like it moves forward the plot and the characters in the story, But in Joker Folie Deux, the musical are just there as a commercial, as an intermission, basically just stopping the story to move forward, because like the movie just like stop, and then he goes into Arthur's head, and then he's just imagining this happen, on his head, which again doesn't add anything to the main plot point. It's just like, okay, well, I guess it's like toddphilips just trying to do something different with the sequel, and then he just thought about a musical. And I think I read on Wikipedia that apparently Joaquin Phoenix came up with the idea of a musical, and it seems like it adds nothing to the plot. It's just there to stop the plot from moving forward, and it is absolutely terrible, Um, and again, I think Lady Gaga thing, she's good when she's actually singing, because obviously Lady Gaga is a singer, so no doubt that she has a great performance, she's a great singer, but I feel like as Harley Quinn, it's just super disappointing the way they handle her characters, because especially the way the movie are trying to promote the story between the two characters, it's about like the two of them falling in love, and Folie Deux is a French thing, which is, if you translate to English, then it was I think it was Madness in Two or something like that, so it's about like Joker and Harley Quinn, Madness in Two, and the movie doesn't necessarily deliver that promise, in my opinion, because it doesn't necessarily leading in too hard on a Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship, and it was really disappointing, and again, Lady Gaga doesn't have any huge material to work with, because most of her scene are just her singing, and I'm just like, dude, I don't think you need to sing every single dialogue, because you could just say it, you could just say what you are feeling to Arthur, and then that's it. it will make this movie a lot more better if they just remove the musical aspect of it and just like wrote an entire dialogue, to explain the character's emotion. That would be much better, compared to this one that is just like a bit much for me. And I think the movie itself also has some realization of that, because by the end of the movie, I think Arthur Fleck himself said that, no, I don't want to sing anymore. Like, stop, actually asking Harley Quinn to stop singing. Please stop singing. I don't want to sing again. And it was pretty much in line with my audience of my theaters, because like that is like a clear. I can clearly hear them complaining about the musical aspect of the movie, where it's like, like, oh my god, like Arthur is gonna sing again. Like, come on, man, stop. Like literally, my audience in my theaters, complaining about that. Audibly complaining about that. And I was like, I agree. I feel like it's time to just stop singing and just focus more on the story. And I think the movie itself kind of like has some a bit of a self-awareness, with that. But again, it doesn't help much. And yeah, I guess if I have to praise this movie, I guess the visual are great. The cinematography by Laura Sher is great. Hildur Guðnadóttir score is good, but it's not great like the first movie does, because in the first movie her score are just like amazing, and it has won an Oscar, which makes me very happy. That's the first time I actually really like. I love movie scores, by the way. I did love them before Joker movie came out, but I feel like after the Joker movie came out, that's where I really appreciate the musical aspect. I guess like the score of a movie, like it does elevate many scenes in the Joker movie, and that's why I just immediately grow a huge respect to the composer. Not that I didn't have that before, but I feel like Hildur Guðnadóttir does really proves herself to be a great composer. But I feel like in this movie, her score are just like remixes from the first movie, and the new score that she does have is not memorable because the material of this movie are not great. Because when you think about the first Joker movie, it has a completely it has a complete story to tell, and there is many theory and interpretation, on what the story would go, and obviously Hildur has a lot of like material to work with, and there are great materials. So I understand that her score are greater in the first movie than in this movie, because like this movie has nothing to say. Arthur Fleck characters literally regress in this movie. Like, you might think that after the end of the Joker, you see him becoming the Joker. I was like, okay, I was expecting to see him, developing his Joker personality even more in this sequel, and that didn't happen. It was like regressing Arthur Fleck's character. And that was really disappointing in my opinion. And also the way they handle Harley Quinn's character are not great. Literally, these two are met the first time in the movie and they just fall in love. That's it. There is no development, and it's just like there is no build up to their relationship, there is no portrayal of how crazy their relationship was, and it's just, yeah, it was just super weird, because I feel like if they just focus on the relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn, I think this movie could be a good movie, if you are actually progressing Arthur Fleck's character development as the Joker, embracing that personality even more, leading like the people of Gotham in a way. That would be really cool, but they didn't do that, and of course the way they the backstory for Harley Quinn is also like really weird, because they touch upon that, oh, like she used to be a psychiatrist or something like that, and just like, why can't you just like make her a psychiatrist like in the comics, make her a psychiatrist in Arkham Asylum. I feel like they will make a good story to tell, because that opens the possibility of like adapting the love story between Harley Quinn and Joker, just like the comic. Like, I understand that Todd Phillips doesn't really wanted to do like a faithful DC comic movie. That much is obvious on the first movie, because the first movie felt more like a Martin Scorsese movie, like Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy. So that much is obvious, but I think the first movie works really well because it feels like a standalone movie that doesn't have any, that basically end in a mysterious way, where you can like interpret the ending in many different ways, and that's what makes it great, and this sequel, I feel like Todd Phillips tried to do the same as the first one, where some of the message here are just a rehash of the first movie, and the fact that he doesn't necessarily want to do like a faithful DC comic movie really hurts this film in my opinion, because he's struggling to find a realistic way to find Harley Quinn falling in love with the Joker, and if anything, he just make it even more comical, it's just bad, and I feel like if they just follow the storyline from the comic, making Harley Quinn like a doctor in Arkham Asylum, and then she can meet Arthur, and then that's where you can actually develop their relationship. You can actually see some build up there, but that's not what they do. They just met the first time and they immediately fall in love, so there's nothing much to say with their relationship, even though that was like the biggest part of their marketing, especially with the poster here, but it's just like like, all right, cool, I guess. But yeah, yeah, it's disappointing, guys, and of course about the ending, I think I will make some spoiler reviews in maybe next Friday, I will make some spoiler reviews about the ending of the movie, because I was a bit 50-50 with the ending, I feel like if there is because here's the thing, the ending basically confirmed a theory that people had from the first movie, I'm not gonna mention which theory it was, but I also make that theory as well, or I guess I heard that theory and I was like, oh, okay, that is interesting, and that certainly could be a possibility, but I think, like, again, that's the beauty of the first movie. You can actually make a bunch of theories and it could work, because, like, again, you don't know where the story could go next, but I feel like with this sequel, the ending literally confirming one of the theory. And half of me was like, okay, well, I mean, I kind of like that theory, so I was like, okay with it. Okay, that's interesting, they do that. But there's also another half of me that I'm just like, dude, like, this ending just makes the first Joker movie completely pointless. Like, what are we doing here? So I think maybe not 50-50. Maybe I'm leaning more towards to the negative sides, of the ending, where it's like it's just completely undermined this movie and the first movie as well, and I was like, damn, this sequel shouldn't be made, and I feel they should make a different ending, and I feel like they should, I think toddphilips should borrow some elements from the DC comics, and try to put it in this movie, but he didn't do that, which is just like, come on, man, so yeah, that's all I can say about the ending without spoiling things. I am definitely curious to see what people will think about the ending, but I will say this, I think this movie will be divisive. I think most people will hate the movie, because they hate Lady Gaga, they hate the musical aspect about the movie, which I don't get me wrong, I hate the musical aspect of it too, because they completely stop the story, and I feel like I'd rather have like an actress to play Harley Quinn instead of like a singer like Lady Gaga did, because she is great when she is singing, but I feel like she does. But I feel like the toddphilips and Scott Silver, the writers of this movie, doesn't do much with her characters, so it is really unfortunate, for Lady Gaga here. It's almost like she just got cast because she can sing, and that's it, yeah, I guess that's my review, guys, for Joker Folie à Deux. It was disappointing sequel. It doesn't need to exist, and I'd rather have like a standalone movie as well, like a standalone DC villain as well, that set in this alternate or like DC Elseworld. I'm personally curious to see if there's gonna be a Scarecrow standalone movie. That will make a great horror movie in my opinion. So I'd rather have that direction with DC compared to like a sequel to Joker, because certainly it doesn't work that way, especially how the first movie ended, because you just remove the mystery of the first movie, so there's that, and on top of that, you have nothing to say. So well, yeah, I guess that's my review, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what do you guys think about Joker Folie à Deux? If you guys already watched the movie, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good sequel, or do you guys think this is a bad sequel? Like, how do you guys feel about the ending? Again, no spoilers, guys, don't spoil the ending for other people who haven't watched the movie, but you can just say whether you like or hate the ending. That's it. That's it. If you watch the movie, just tell me if you like or hate the ending, because I'm certainly leaning more towards mixed to negative about the ending, so that's just me, so let me know all your opinions in the comment section below, guys, and if you guys enjoy this review, then make sure, guys, laugh that subscribe and like button, guys, share the videos, the usual stuff, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. And again, I hope you guys enjoy this review, and always remember, guys, that's life.